Yeah, I'm all in. Brody on the line, I'm tapping in. God out here pulling the strings for me. A girl on the line, she feeling me. Preoccupied by the motivation. Put in the time, pay the entry fee. Bro on the rise, yeah, he kinda nice. Inside of my mind, no one's real as me. Lately, life has been gorgeous. Wake up to clear, my eyes hit recorded. Praise up to God, I ain't chasing no swinging and miss, got me hitting these licks. I get the orders, don't get it distorted. Disconnected, I've been cordless, I've been cordial, I've been exploring. I got a whole lot, but somehow I want more of it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talks interview with the amazingly talented Michole Briana White. And for those of you at home, she is Meech and Terry's mom, Lucille Flenory. And I wanted to start off first by introducing ourselves. And my name is Tiffany.
I'm LaWanda.
And I'm Roman.
And again, we're with the amazingly talented Michole Briana White. It's lovely to have you here today.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hey, y'all.
Hey. It's so happy. I understand that you're in production in Budapest, and we're so thankful that you took a few moments of your time to talk to us today.
It's my pleasure, and I'm just so glad that it worked out.
Yeah, us too. I'll kick it off. I have like a two-part question. The first thing I wanted to say is I saw that 50 Cent posted a picture of you and the real Lucille Flenory on his Instagram page, and you guys, the resemblance is uncanny.
It's amazing.
I know you guys are like family. And
Yeah.
a two-part question. I wanted to know if she imparted any wisdom to you on playing the role of Lucille Flenory.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I it's amazing to play a real person. I've never had that experience before, and so I can call her up anytime, and I can also call Nicole Flenery, and I get to talk to both of them and get different perspectives, and it's been amazing. Like I will call Miss Lucille in between takes and be like, what were you thinking in this moment, or what did you feel then, or I'm just not sure what to do. I'm kind of torn here, and she might send me a Bible verse between takes, or she'll say she's praying for me and encouraging words, and I got this and all these things, and she's just been like an open book and sharing so much, and it's just been amazing. And the fact that we look alike, and she looks just like my mom too, like it's just crazy. Like, they look like sisters. And anyway, and me next to her, I'm just blown away. I really didn't realize how much I looked like her until we actually met in person that day on the set, which we both like boo-hooed. It was just like, oh my gosh, it was just so much overwhelming emotion, like from both of us. And I'm just so honored to, have the opportunity to play her. And I just want to make her proud and really give voice to her story. I really do.
I'm sure you're doing that. I have to tell you, my team member and I, Tiara, we had the privilege of going to the BMF premiere. And after that, we showed the footage and the pictures of everything that went down. And Miss Lucille was the first person to promote us on social media. Like, she retweeted our pictures and our coverage and everything. And we're so appreciative of that. So Miss Lucille, if you're watching, thank you so much. We're sending you positive energy right back.
Yeah, she's lovely, just lovely.
Well, I'd like to ask a question. As the loving mother of two boys, raising them in Detroit during the era of the cocaine era, that would certainly put a challenge on any parent. But let me ask, how would you handle that in today's society? Say if you were a mother today, how would you handle it today?
I don't know what you could do differently, really, because, I just want to reiterate that the issue in BMF with these boys is not that they came from a broken home. Right. They didn't come from a broken home. They came from a broken neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing that needs to be worked on, I think, the most, because all you can do is give your kids the best that you can and love them. I mean, they come from a God-fearing family, and and all these beautiful things, a loving family, caring, like close family. So what else do you do for your kids besides love them and try to give them the best that you can?
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we see that. We see that in BMF, and we see that with you and Charles. I mean, you couldn't have picked two better parents. And it's just unfortunate that, the drug organization, that era, that is so huge and so destructive. And you see that in this, and we see how you two struggle to try to maintain some order with the two boys.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when the opportunities are limited in your community, I mean, that's what was available to them at the time, and that still happens now. It's still so relevant today, and so that's why I'm glad so many people are watching, and I hope people can. I just hope that it creates new understanding for what actually happens in communities like this, and that support can be created for that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, whenever I'm watching something, there's always something that specifically connects me to a story. And one of the things in BMF was the fact that they come from a very religious background. And that's kind of my background, same kind of Pentecostal upbringing and the close-knit family. So as you're reading the script, was there anything else that specifically jumped out at you that you could connect with?
Gosh, there's so many things. I mean, it's so familiar. Like, there are a lot of things that I can relate to with Lucille and my mom. And, I think since I've been working on the show, I feel like I have a better understanding of my mom and, what she was going through. And my mom was a single mom at the time, actually. And, but how important family is, and how much, like, during that time period, women had a voice, but, like I always say that Lucille is the quiet storm that leads from behind. But it was only so much that she could say or do, in respect of her husband. And, my mom came up during that time where, how she felt as a woman was different than how I feel now. You know what I mean? And I wasn't fully, she's talked about that so much, but I wasn't fully aware of the level, of, how much women had to submit really in that way. But yeah, and the whoopings and all there's so many things and the music is so much that's just familiar. It's just all like very, very familiar. I'm from Chicago too, so it's right next door. Yeah, so it's a vibe. And house music. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope I'm not sure if I completely answered your question, but you're welcome to ask another one. I'll elaborate.
No, you did, because I imagine as an artist and an actor, whenever you're stepping in these roles, you have to find that which is familiar in order for you to connect with it, and then you bring your own artistry to it and expression of it. And so that opens the door to another question, because like whenever I'm watching you on screen, like I see you now and this is you, but then you disappear so completely into the character. So what is your method of doing that to where when you take on a role, you actually become that person, you become that character?
That is so interesting. I don't always know how to exactly articulate my process, but I'm so thankful that it comes off that way, because I still feel like, I put a piece of me in everything that I do. My job is to tell the truth. So I just try to show up and do that as much as possible. And oftentimes, I guess I kind of may be transformed in a way, but I just, open myself to the divine, and I just allow what comes through. And, also I had the opportunity, like I said, to really talk to the real Miss Lucille and to ask her so many questions and have her share with me. So I just had so much information, and I I just get quiet. I go in, I take peppermint oil with me, like wherever I go. And, you know, essential oils like really help shift the energy and stuff. And they just drop me in. It's very grounding and it makes me more alert. And I find myself a corner and I get in it because so many of her scenes are kind of emotional. And I just go get quiet and I wait for them to say action. And then we just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, it's beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Definitely
Thank you.
beautiful work. I want to piggyback on that because you guys have a stellar cast. And I look at you and Russell and Wood Harris and Steve Harris as the vets, the OGs, the seasoned
That's right.
actors. And I wanted to know, like, do you impart any wisdom and advice to the younger actors on the set? Because they're amazing too, but I know there's a lot that they can, you know, learn from you all.
Absolutely. I mean, I always make myself available. And particularly if I'm in a scene with somebody and when I'm not, you know, I've had like moments with Terry too, when we weren't actually in a scene and I've just tried to share things with him, you know, and Lil Meech, I've had a lot of scenes with him and we've had some really deep bonds, connections. And like, I also am really into energy work and that sort of thing. So we really had a deep heart to heart moment, like our very first scene together in the bedroom. There was like one take that they used, but we shot that scene so many times and there was so much emotion that, you know, by the time you actually see the scene, it just looks like real laid back and cool. But it was, there were so many different ways that we did that and so much stuff I think that came out that I think was so healing for Lil Meech. I really do. And that it seemed like from what I've been told and my understanding that was kind of a turning point for him in the work. And he just, you know, went like this, like, I mean, he just like, he just blows me away, like to watch his growth and he has such an open heart and he's so willing. He's just so willing and he's a great listener and makes himself available for you as well. And so we had some deep moments and I had deep moments with Sydney. She plays Terry's girlfriend, baby mom and all that. And we had some really beautiful moments too. And Da Vinci, we always connect and yeah, with everybody. So I'm always happy to share anything. And I was just always there with my oils and like spraying the energy and doing all kind of like, you know, just trying to keep everything grounded, you know, for myself and everyone.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I'm into energy work and I study spirituality. And so when you said that, I'm thinking we choose these professions or maybe they choose us. So how do you find healing in your work for you specifically throughout the trajectory of your career?
You know what? I mean, really, as an artist, you're channeling energy. And so I open myself up to allow something to come through because, and now I think more than ever, like at this point in my life, and particularly attracting BMF into my life at this point, and you know the spiritual person that she is and stuff. I feel like I'm starting to step into my life purpose kind of work, and it is about healing and that's what the arts do anyway. It's like you might not always be aware of that's what you're doing, but you know, we're helping to uplift and touch and heal and move people in different ways through what we do. And I think I'm just more aware of that now than ever.
Okay, great. Yeah, it comes through.
Got a question for you, and this is an interesting one. You and Russell seem to have similar roles together in August Wilson's Jitney. I think you play Rena, and he plays Youngblood. And the roles are pretty similar to what we see in BMF. What's the draw what's the draw as you and husband and wife in the television world? Because you seem to come together in that regard.
Well, I mean, I think he was very instrumental in help bringing me in, him and Tasha, and I'm just so thankful. And yeah, Russell and I, you know, we worked together for over 2 years, you know, traveling with August Wilson himself. And it is very much like Young Blood, and Rena grew up and went to BMF. And it's really awesome. And it's just great to be able to bring this kind of depth to television. That, you know, we have this history together. And, you know, and just how important this story is, that I'm just so glad that, you know, there's weight there to really help to propel this story forward and to propel the new generation forward, and do our best to ground them. Tasha Smith is one of the best directors I've ever worked with. Really, she is amazing, and she would give so many precious gems of information as we were working on these scenes. And she, you know, almost treated it like a play. It was like we were doing a play, you know, on film. We got to actually take the time to really rehearse and get this, you know, these people really in our body. She gave us like the time to do that. And that just opened up the world. To be able to do that in the first 2 episodes with her was just extraordinary, and a very rare opportunity. And I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful for all of it. It's just amazing to me. I'm just like, wow, all right, Spirit.
Well, I do commend you and Russell, because I mean, it is so believable as you as parents. And you know, every Sunday we watch you and watch how you you know, go through the troubles that you have with your 2 boys, but you all seem to find a way to work it out. And I'm also noticing that you're getting a little more aggressive with your husband these episodes. You're not letting them get away with too much anymore.
No, sir. She got to come out of her shell at some point. No. I gotta, you know, he came out the box on me one day. Did you see that?
Yes, he did.
Like, oh no. Oh, okay. I had to check him. No.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna leave the house? Oh no.
He was out of pocket.
Huh?
He was out of pocket. And I don't know if you're familiar with our Who Can Get the Hands list, but we put Charles on the Who Can Get the Hands list for the way he behaved with you, and also because of the way that he blew up the case for Terry. So we handled him for you.
And of course, as a man myself, I could understand where Charles is coming from. You know, he's a man, he's trying to raise a family. He's, you know, the financial system in the house isn't going well, and he has these sons out there doing whatever. And, you know, that kind of pressure can bring some serious trouble and harm into the family. And this is like, you know, I saw with Charles. Of course, I was well outnumbered by the ladies in terms of who gets the hands. So I had to acquiesce. And
right. And, but I hear you. I mean, I have compassion for him too. It's like everybody's kind of going through their own thing, and you know, we're all stuck in a way, or like Lucille is between a rock and a hard place, you know, feeling like she has to choose between her 2 sons, between her sons and her husband, right? Even, you know, and but it makes sense, you know, what else is he gonna do? Everybody wants the best for their kids, and he's still a good dad at the end of the day, and who really loves his boys, and you don't always see that on television, and so I'm so thankful that you get to see a loving family. Even, you know, and like I said before, like they did not come from a broken home. They come from a broken neighborhood. And I'm just glad people get to understand that in a different way now.
Okay. Excellent.
You and
Russell
Russell
are so familiar to me, Donald. Is Donald?
Ronald.
Ronald, do I know you?
I wish you did, but I don't think so.
I'm like, I swear I know you. Every time I look at you, I'm like, wait a minute.
He has a twin.
He does have a twin.
I do, but no, you don't know him either. You would know me before my twin, but no, well, look.
But you know him now.
You know me now. Yeah.
Cool.
But you and Russell have been putting on an acting clinic. All of you have. You've been doing a wonderful job. And I wanted to let you know, we spoke to Randy Huggins the other day too. We interviewed with him, and he said that he has an affinity for you and that you are one of his favorite actresses. So I just wanted to let you know that.
I love him. I really do. I think he's awesome, and I'm so proud of him and all the things that he has created. It's just amazing. And I really am so thankful to be on this journey with all these wonderful people. It's just really divinely delicious. So
yeah. I wanted to, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I
wanted to ask you about your role in I Will Follow. I remember seeing that movie early on, and I remembered you from that. So how did that come together? Because I know that was when Ava DuVernay was first starting out. So how did you find out about that role, and how were you cast?
I knew the casting director, and she brought me in, and I met Ava, and I read for her, and then she brought me back for a call back, and then they cast me, and we talked about a lot of different things, and it was really awesome to be on that journey with her. That was her first feature.
Yeah.
And to see how, how far she's come, it just blows my mind. But in the beginning, she's a publicist and a director, and she really wanted to be respected as a director. But I think it's awesome how, we all have to honor our authenticity, because that's what makes us who we are. And when she, was able to really own that, those two things go hand in hand. That's like an amazing combination. It's just a perfect marriage. And anyway, I think she's really incredible, and I was honored to be a part of her new beginning as well. But I always think that's so cool. I have a dear friend named Denise Grayson, and she's an actor, she's a producer, and she was a lawyer to start off with, but she didn't want anybody to know that she was a lawyer because she wanted to be respected as an actor. But all these things go together, and they make you authentic, and you will use all of these things at some point in your life. So it's really I think it's awesome to really be able to acknowledge the things about you that make you different, and really allow that to be okay, because that's what makes you awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was.
Not that you asked me or anything, but but that's the one thing I always think about with Ava. I'm like, wow, that makes her so awesome, and it's just beautiful.
So your bio doesn't stop with film and theater. I understand that you're also a singer-songwriter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to hear a note, if you don't mind, if you can just hit one for me.
Me.
Oh, you were putting on the spot, huh, Ron?
Wait to put on.
Hey, look, I could try at least, but I like that one. That'll do.
Me, right. Well, you know what? I'm working on some stuff now, and it's been a journey these last couple of years. So I haven't been involved in as much music as I would like to, but I really am looking forward to that in the new year. And I have another show that I'm producing actually that involves music that I'm really excited about. And I'm working on some new material right now that I'm super excited about. And you can find some of my music online. Like I have a music video that I did a while back, but an awesome song that's very healing, I think, called Breaking the Cycle.
Okay.
And a lot of my music has been, I license music for film and television as well. And anyway,
Wow.
it's been really cool. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to really bringing all these things together more.
I started to ask, what's next for you? I mean, you've done it all. What's next?
Well, I haven't done it all, but I'm working on it. So, yeah, I'm thankful that the doors are opening where I can do other things. But yeah, I really need to work on music, because it's healing for me in a different way. And it's one of my, it's always been kind of a bigger fear for me, because it's much more vulnerable, because there's nowhere to hide, kind of. There's no one's lines. It's just like me standing there, you know. But I think I'm at, oh, this brings up so much emotion for me. Oh my gosh. It really does, because I'm like in the process of clearing all these things and really opening myself to allowing this to come through in another way. And so I'm excited about it, and about really sharing my whole self, and feeling comfortable about doing that, like really being present like that.
Well, I appreciate that, because we know you keep your personal life very close, and to share with us is something special. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so you mentioned that this was your first role as portraying a real person. Are there any other people that you would like to portray, maybe any other biopics maybe that you might be interested in?
Yeah, there is a couple. I don't know if I can really talk about it right now, because they're kind of in the works, but I can tell you a couple people that I have played. So I played Lena Horne in a play called When Jazz Had the Blues, which was an awesome experience, stepping into her shoes, and how her power and her sensuality and her comfortability within herself. And that was an amazing journey. And then I played Billie Holiday once, who is actually my biggest inspiration musically. And that was really like just so deep, walking in her shoes. And anyway, I love her, and I love music, and yeah.
Okay. After these other projects, hopefully.
I know. We want to be mindful of your time. We're so appreciative of the fact that you took time off of, your production to speak to us today. This has been amazing. You have just such wonderful energy. We're really enjoying you on BMF, and we're gonna forever support you and your future projects.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You are all so lovely. It's been really such a pleasure to connect with you all. And y'all brought up some stuff, so I appreciate you. I really do.
Oh, thank you for being a beautiful spirit. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Ditto.
Thank you. Guys, it has been our pleasure to talk to Michole Briana White today, and we're going to let her get back to production. But this has been a treat. Please follow her on BMF. We're looking forward to Sunday's season finale. There was a deep scene I saw in the previews between you and Meek in the kitchen, and I was just like, oh wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that day.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She's letting him have it.
I'm like, what you doing, boy? What you doing?
Well, we're wishing you the best.
Definitely.
And take care. And thank you again for your time today.
Thank
you.
Peeping, your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know